Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about one of the absolute best things you can do for your financial future, and that's setting clear, effective goals. We're going to take those kind of fuzzy financial dreams you have and turn them into a real, solid plan that you can actually achieve. It's all about giving you a sense of control and, honestly, a lot more confidence.
So let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like you're just sort of drifting with your money? Like you should be saving or paying off debt or investing, but without a clear target, it's just so easy to feel lost. That is a super common feeling, trust me. But the good news is there's a really straightforward way to find your direction.
And the way to do that is with well-defined financial goals. Seriously, think of them like your own personal financial compass. Once you have that compass, every single decision you make, from buying that morning coffee to figuring out your monthly budget, suddenly has a real purpose. Your goals start guiding you toward the future you actually want.
So, why even bother with all this goal-setting stuff? Well, the benefits are huge. For starters, they give you focus. Your energy and your money aren't scattered all over the place. They also let you measure your progress, which, let me tell you, is so satisfying and proves you're on the right track. And seeing that progress, that becomes your motivation to keep going. And maybe most importantly, goals act as a filter, helping you make smart, informed decisions that line up with what you really want.
Now, it's really important to remember that not all goals are the same. Just like our ambitions, right? They come in all different shapes and sizes. And understanding their timelines is pretty much the first step to getting your financial life organized. Generally, we can break them down into three main categories based on how long they'll take to pull off.
So let's talk about those three buckets. First, you've got your short-term goals. These are things you want to get done in less than a year. Like saving up for a really awesome vacation. Then you have your medium-term goals, which take about 1 to 5 years. Maybe that's finally paying off a student loan. And then there are the big ones, the long-term goals that take more than 5 years, like saving for retirement or a down payment on a house.
Okay, so we know why we need goals and the different types that exist. But how do we actually make them work? How do we turn a wish into a real plan? Well, that is where the SMART framework comes in. If your goal is the destination, then the SMART framework is the detailed turn-by-turn map that's going to get you there.
At its heart, the SMART framework is just a simple but pretty brilliant system. It's basically a checklist, a set of rules designed to take a fuzzy idea like, I want to be better with money, and sharpen it into a super concrete, actionable target that you have a way higher chance of actually hitting. All right, let's break down exactly what makes a goal SMART. S is for specific. Don't just say save money, say what you're saving for and exactly how much. M is for measurable. How are you going to track it? Saying I'll save $200 a month gives you a clear number to aim for. A is for achievable. You got to be realistic here. Can you actually hit this goal with your income and your time? R is for relevant. Does this goal actually matter to you? It has to fit into your bigger picture. And finally, T is for time-bound. Give yourself a deadline. It creates urgency and a clear finish line to run towards.
So, this all sounds great in theory, right? But the real magic of the SMART framework happens when you apply it to real-life goals. So, let's look at a few examples to see exactly how this system takes an idea from theory to reality. Okay, look at this perfect short-term goal. It nails the whole framework. Is it specific? Yep, $500 for a laptop. Measurable? You bet, $50 per paycheck. Achievable? For most people, totally. Relevant? Of course, you need a new laptop. And is it time-bound? Absolutely, 10 pay periods. See how clear and totally actionable that is? No guesswork.
Now, what about a medium-term goal? Paying off debt can feel so overwhelming, but look how the SMART framework makes it manageable. You've got a specific debt amount, a measurable monthly payment, and a time-bound deadline of just 12 months. This approach literally transforms a giant mountain of debt into a series of small, totally conquerable hills.
And for the long term, check this out. $20,000. That feels like a huge number, right? But breaking it down makes it feel achievable. Contributing $333 a month feels so much more concrete and possible than just vaguely saying, I want to save for a house someday. This is how you make those massive goals feel like they're actually within your reach.
Okay, you've seen the why, the what, and the how. Now it is your turn. Let's take everything we've talked about and boil it down into a simple 5-step action plan you can start using the second this is over.
Here is your path forward. First, identify your priorities. Sit down and figure out what you truly want your money to do for you. Second, break those wants down into those short, medium, and long-term buckets. Third, and this is the magic step, apply the SMART framework to every single one of them. Fourth, create a specific plan, like a new budget or setting up automatic transfers. And finally, you have to track your progress. This isn't a set-it-and-forget-it thing. You gotta check in and make sure you're staying on course.
And that just about brings us to the end. You now have the tools and you have the map. The only thing left to do is to take that first step. So I'm going to leave you with this question to really think about. What is the very first goal you are going to take right now and turn from a vague wish into a powerful, concrete, SMART goal?